Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to talk to you for 1 second, real quick. I'm going to make this very, very short. This is, first of all, I want to say good morning and hello and good afternoon, good evening, whichever one you're watching this video at. That's the first thing. Second thing I want to say is that as Black Friday approaches, I want to remind everybody to buy black. Buying black is really, really important. Let's remember this is the reason why we want to call it Black Friday, right? Let's reshape that definition. Black Friday means buy black, buy Black Friday, buy Black Friday. That's what you got to do. Support your own, support your own. What's up, Goddess? Travel, how are you? Second thing, or next thing I want to say is as you move forward into the holidays, I want you to think about what you're going to do, not just so to give your money away, but also what you're going to do to make sure your future is better than your past. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on my Black finance professor hat real quick, because I'm a finance professor and I had taught finance for a long time, 25 years, University of Kentucky, Indiana University, Syracuse University, Ohio State, etc. I even taught in China. I don't know if you guys know that, but maybe you do. If you follow me long enough, you know this because I've said it before many times, but I say it repeatedly because new people come in and they think I'm just a Negro talking on YouTube, and I'm not just a Negro talking on YouTube. I'm a Negro who spent, not even a Negro, I'm never going to be a Negro, but I am a Black man who spent many, many years training in finance at a pretty high level. So what I want to do is kind of give you something to chew on, right? This is a concept that I kind of sort of came to just when I was just sitting there thinking about it. It's basically financial Ebola, And somebody's like, what are you talking about when you say financial Ebola? I said, well, if you think about it, three things you could do with your money. The three major things you could do are when you get money, you get your tax refund, you get your paycheck, whatever. The three things you can do with the money, pretty much. You can invest it, you can save it, and you can spend it, right? And I said, investing your money is kind of like giving your money healthy steroids, or giving your money health food, giving your money green vegetables every day, feeding it like you feed a child. And if you feed that child and nurture that child grows and it becomes a big boy and a grown man and whatever, right? So it's good. It's a good thing, right? It's nice. Then the child can reproduce, and next thing you know, that one child you raise turns into 4 or 5 people because they have kids, and then those 4 or 5 people turn into another 30 people, and then those 30 people turn into 100 people. So literally, by raising one child, you're raising 1,000 children 100 years from now. Do you follow me? Does that make sense? Are you with me? Are we together on this? Okay. If we're together on this, then let's move on. Okay. So we agree that investing your dollars, you plant that money, the money grows, the money multiplies, the money replicates itself like bunny rabbits. The same way with a child. You raise that one child, that child gets together with another person's child, and they make 4 or 5 kids. Those 4 or 5 kids have between them maybe another 20 kids, and those 20 between them have another 80 or 100. So when you raise one child properly, you're raising about 1,000 people over the next 100-year period. Do you follow me? Does that make sense? Okay, good. We're on the same page. All right. So investing is like raising that child, giving them healthy food, so they can grow and become strong and multiply. Saving money is not as bad as spending money, right? Saving money isn't that terrible. It means at least you're preserving what you have, right? So saving money from a health standpoint, it's not like you're not growing anything, right? When you're saving, you're not really growing the money. You're keeping the money, but you're not growing the money. So it's like you're keeping all the seeds in your garage, but you're not planting them, right? Which keeping the seeds is better than giving the seeds away, because you can actually eat seeds, right? But eating your seeds or keeping your seeds is not as good as growing the seeds. Or if you think about it, like a health analogy might be, if somebody is alive and they're not doing anything to kill themselves, but they're dying slowly, from cancer, or they're smoking cigarettes every day and eating chitlins, and their body's slowly deteriorating. That's kind of what savings is. Why do I say that? It sounds kind of cynical, but the truth of the matter is this. Look, saving money causes natural erosion of that money through this thing called inflation. Inflation means that $1 today will not buy what $1 tomorrow will buy. That if you take that same dollar and you hold it, and you say, I'm doing good, I'm saving my money, well, that dollar that you saved in 2010 is going to be worth, maybe 70% of its original value by 2020. I don't know, I got to go look at the exact math, but eventually it will erode to half of its value, then 20% of its value, then 10%. It's going to just whittle away, almost like a person that's dying slowly, right? So imagine somebody somebody who says, look, I'm not out here thugging, I'm not out here getting in trouble, I'm not out here doing nothing crazy. I'm just living, right? I'm just sitting here chilling, I'm smoking cigarettes, eating fried chicken, or whatever. Well, the person's not dying quickly, but they're dying slowly. And that's not always the best thing. They're certainly not putting themselves in a better, healthier position long term. All right. So we talked about investing. We talked about saving. Now let's talk about spending. Spending money is about the worst investment you could ever make. It is the absolute worst thing you could do with your money. It doesn't mean you shouldn't spend. All of us spend a little bit of money, but you shouldn't spend a lot of your money. You certainly shouldn't be in the habit of spending all of your money. Black people, unfortunately, because we've been trained in a certain way when it comes to money, we've been miseducated on income and wealth. But then at the same time, not only have we been miseducated on income and wealth, we have been uneducated on proper ways to build wealth, right? So it's almost like you're raised and educated on economic self-destruction, but you're not trained on economic growth and vitality, right? And then also because you're not taught this early, the interest in in growing money is not very high from some people. They rather just sit and watch a video and just wait to die or wait to go broke again, right? So it's all good. It is what it is. You have to fix it, but it is what it is. If you want your family to have a different outcome, you got to train them different, get them to think different. So spending money is like financial Ebola. And what do I mean by that? Well, you think about what Ebola is, right? Ebola is this disease that works very rapidly, very quickly to deteriorate and destroy the body and kill its victims within like a few days. It just you ain't got a chance. God bless you. Or if anything ever happens, where somebody says, we just found out you have Ebola, because you probably go ahead and start planning for your funeral while you're still able to even walk around and see and be healthy, right? So basically, spending is financial Ebola because it's like an economic disease that whittles away at your money super fast. Your return on investment is a negative 100%. You're taking something that has value that could literally last for the next 100 years, and you're turning it into this worthless trinket. You're translating it into this worthless little trinket, like a pair of shoes or something, that's going to have value for you for about 6 months to a year, right? And I want you to really think about this. Can you name anything that you bought in 2005 that is holding its value in 2018, other than a house or maybe some stocks or something like that, right? Stocks and if you bought a bunch of stocks, if you spent most of your money on stocks in 2005, you probably have $20, $30, $40, $50,000 in the bank right now, at least, right? But if you spent your money on shoes and chicken and and like going to McDonald's or going to the comedy clubs or going to see movies, you don't have any of that. I mean, you have a memory of the movie. The movie comes up and you're like, oh yeah, I saw that movie. Now tattoos, now that might, maybe that has an economic value for you, then that's all good. But a tattoo can't pay no bills. Last time I checked, a tat can't be turned in to help you like keep your house, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So anyway, so those are kind of the three areas where you can spend money. Remember, you can invest it, you can save it, you can spend it. There are other things you can do, like give it away, things like that. But we won't talk about that now. But investing is like giving your money health food and growth pills. Saving it is like the money dying a slow death, where you're just sitting there letting it, almost like having a really nice car and just keeping it in the garage so you don't crash it, so you don't hurt it, right? But it's going to rust away and eventually it's not going to be worth anything. And then spending money is like financial Ebola. Basically, you spend the money, it's gone forever. You got to go back and earn some more money, which means you got to go beg some white man to to like hire you or give you a raise or a promotion or keep paying you so you can pay your bills for next week. So it's like this endless vicious cycle that many of us are put on from birth. We're trained to be on this cycle from birth. The people that love us are the ones who train us for slavery. They're the ones who kind of prepare us for that corporate slavery, that debt slavery, all that stuff. Now, to give you an example, last example on why saving money is really not necessarily a good thing. Saving money is good, but you can't save your way to wealth. Let me give you an example. Let's say somebody saves their ass off. Let's say somebody saves like nobody's business, and they you know, they make 50 grand a year on average over a 40-year period. They save $5,000 a year. They're saving 10% of their gross income, not even net. It's probably more like 20% of net, 50, whatever, but they're saving like 10% of their gross, $5,000 a year. That's a lot of savings. That's pretty good. All right. Okay. So, so you say that $5,000 a year over 10 years is about 50K. 50K over 50K every decade for 40 years of working is about $200,000. That's pretty good, right? It's a lot of money. Wow, damn, you saved $200,000, man. What do you think would have happened? I'm anxious. What do you think would have happened if that person had taken that money and instead of saving it, had put it in the stock market? What do you think is the difference in the amount of wealth they would have if they invested that money and let it grow, as opposed to simply holding it still? Right. So they made $200,000 just by saving, right? What is it? 400,000? 700,000. I mean, if it's 700,000, my God, that means you gave away $500,000. How many of y'all black folks that are watching? Because y'all know I talk to black people. White people might, anybody, if you're not black and you want to watch, you can watch. Just prepare to like be radicalized or to be introduced to a new perspective. I am a black man who happens to be a finance professor. I'm not a finance professor who happens to be black. So blackness is number one on my priority list. But think about this. If it's 700,000, that means you gave away $500,000. Now, how many black people do you know can afford to give away $500,000? Again, we always, you know, in our mindset, it's like poverty, right? We're stuck, we're broke. Black people ain't got no money. Well, if you ain't got no money, how can you give away $500,000? Only rich people can give away $500,000. I can't make a donation of $500,000. I don't want to give away $500,000, right? Well, let's say it's $1 million. Let's say it's a cool $1 million they would have had if they'd invested instead of saved that money. Cool $1 million, my God, you gave away $800,000. That's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money. Could take care of a lot of people. Imagine somebody told you like, oh, I was gonna give you $800,000, but I gave it all away, right? You'd be pissed. You'd be ready to kick their ass, right? But here's the thing. The amount of money you're giving away, if you save that money instead of invest that money, it ain't 200,000. It ain't $500,000. It ain't $1 million. You're giving away, in that scenario I described, saving $5,000 a year for 40 years instead of investing it, you just gave away $3 million. You just gave away $3 million. You just gave your bank account and your family and your generational wealth the worst case of financial Ebola that has ever been recorded by the Center for Financial Disease Control. You literally gave your family an economic virus that depleted the entire body. You literally just killed the fortunes of hundreds of your descendants. You literally have taken your grandchildren and instead of them being people that could have probably stayed home every day and built a business, had money to build more wealth, could have bought a home, had a down payment for a house, whatever, could have went to school without student loans. You erased all of that. And now they're going to start off with nothing. You literally, thank you, Queen, have committed economic suicide. That's what happens when you save money and you don't invest. And that is why it is nearly impossible to just save your way to wealth. Jobs don't pay you enough money to save your way to wealth. The only way you can get to wealth is by investing. So the same way you go to church and they say the only way you can get to God is through Jesus Christ. Well, you know what? In economic church up in here, I'm going to tell you the only way to get to financial heaven is through investing. If you don't go through investing, is Jesus Christ, right? So if you're trying to get through to financial heaven, you got to go through the pathway of investing. That is the only path that is out there that will get people to the land of wealth. So can the church say amen, hallelujah, and pass the macaroni and cheese? That's it. I'm done, guys. I'm out of here. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins. This is my Black Finance Professor hat. So I'm gonna take it off because when I put it on, I get financial superpowers. So I gotta preserve the hat. It's like when Thor or somebody or or the Incredible Hulk turns green, right? Or Superman, puts on his uniform. So I'm putting away my Black Finance Professor hat because that makes me a dangerous black man, because I'm giving you the secrets to wealth and economic power and the secrets to understanding how this country works when it comes to economics, the mathematics, all of that. And I'm not just a guy talking. I'm not just a financial advisor. I'm not just a guy who knows a couple of things. I literally spent 13 years in school studying this nonstop around the clock at the very highest levels with the smartest people from around the world, from China, Europe, everywhere else. And then there's another 20 years I spent teaching it to college students. So I know my stuff. I know what I'm talking about. This is why it's important for this message to resonate in our community. Share this video, pass it around, hit the thumbs up button before you go. Subscribe to our League of Intelligent Black People at intelligentblackpeople.com. We're bringing Black intelligence back. We're making the Black community great again. So we're bringing Black intelligence back. We love your support. Go to intelligentblackpeople.com. I also teach a class on how to invest in the stock market. If you're interested, it's very popular. People love it. You can also get a certificate when you're done. It's part of the Black Business School, which is our institution created by our people, for our people, to build our people. So feel free to go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com. You can get the first month totally free if you sign up now. That's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. And also, for those of you who live in Houston, I'll be in Houston December 8th with Dr. Venetia Dutra. She also has financial superpowers. She's one of the few Black women on the planet with a PhD in finance. We're going to spend the whole night talking about investing, wealth building, and real estate. So if you live in Houston and you want to come out, go to drboycehouston.com. That's drboycehouston.com. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a great day. And if you missed anything in the video in terms of information, or you got here late, just go to drboycetv.com and you can actually watch the recording, drboycetv.com. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Peace.